Curves Ultra Thin with Wings, Curves Regular Maxi with Wings, and Curves Overnight Maxi with Wings. Super absorbent, best quality and value for money. Every girl loves Curves.
Agent Frank B. Armstrong SVG Limited.
99.9 WEFM. WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Alrighty, so as promised, we will be conducting an interview at this time with representatives from the NCTI, the National Center. All right, there we go. So National Center
for Technological Innovation.
There we go. Say it again. All right, let's go again.
The National Center for Technological Innovation.
All right. So in studio, you have Dianna Cain, myself, Roleza Samuel, and the voices that you were hearing a while ago, they belong to Mr. Charles Burke, who is a senior administrator and network administrator, and Mr. Petrus Gums, the CEO of NCTI. All right. So Mr. Burke and Mr. Gums, good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
Okay,
You vibes in?
yeah, vibes.
Just vibes in?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. The rush to get here, and every time you late, someone always block your road.
Oh, it's one of those situations.
Yeah, someone always driving slow in front of you.
Yeah. All right. We know about those things, man. Soon enough.
I got out of the block, so
You get the black.
All right. So let us know why we are here this morning. So I know that it's the inaugural program in robotics competition. So
Right.
tell us, break that down. What does that even mean?
Well, let's talk because let's talk a little bit more about what the NCTI is first.
Mhm.
And with that, I want to hand it over to Mr. Burke to just give a brief background of what the NCTI is, and then I will give you where we're going with this robotics.
yeah, let me
Right.
just give one snapshot of what I want to say. The NCTI was established as the NIT in 2002, right? Initially, it was at the Hall. In 2007, we moved to Kingston. Basically, our mandate, when it was established, was really to raise the level of ICT in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And over the years, over the past 22 years plus, that is what we've been doing. So there were a lot of IT professionals who hold prominent positions either in the region or in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and even internationally. Their baptism was actually at the NCTI. A lot of people would tell you that. Now, so there's where our drive is to make sure that our population, the population of St. Vincent and Grenadines, is ICT literate, in that we could deal with things related to ICT, whether it is repairing computers, connecting networks, creating applications, and so on. That's basically that's our drive, really.
And we are also the premier organization that give industry standard certificates. These certificates are portable not only locally but regional and internationally. So we're talking about things like the CompTIA exam training courses in network security plus. We also bringing into play training like A plus. We're currently the NCTI has made partnership with an organization or institute out of Trinidad, ASTI, which we were hoping to bring the first set of courses to the shows in terms of fiber optics training, installation, and design, anything along that line. We also have been coming online a lot of training courses in areas of automotive. We are using what we call a lot of simulated environment because we know, like, let's say the tech voc, in terms of their mechanic courses, they are limited by someone donating a particular engine to them. But the vehicles that are coming today are EVs, hybrid, and those kind of expensive type vehicle. You're not going to get one of those donated to you so easy. So we bring in that nice simulated environment where they can be able to walk on a virtual engine, just like a real engine, that they could use any other any other engine to them, transmission, whatever the case may be. So really and truly, we are the organization that introduce or bring technological courses and certificates to the country that everyone can be a part of. And we partnering with a lot of organizations so that we could get our population that exposure that they need.
All right. Before you continue with the other roles of the organization, we had an interview yesterday with Mr. Kelvin Pompey, Comptroller of Inland Revenue Department, and he was making the point of there needs to be a bit more computer literacy amongst folks. But along those lines, he didn't say those exact words, but in terms of getting persons to feel a bit more comfortable using computers, so that persons can conduct business and conduct transactions online. Is your department or your unit also responsible for, let's say, computer literacy within different communities so that, persons could get this sense of comfort as we move into everything being a bit more digital in the online area?
Well,
go ahead.
Government is now moving to digitize. Government is digitizing the services currently. There's this project, the digital transformation project, that actually will allow government to digitize a lot of their services, whether it's inland revenue, customs, and so on, right? And we also see the need, right, for the population to be more comfortable with using digital technologies. We have a fairly sizable age of a population, right? And it would be difficult for a lot of these age of a persons to really transition into the digitization. So that is a challenge. That is something we have to take on board, as NCTI has to take on board, to make sure that we reach out to that, especially that population. Because what is happening right now, government, a lot of payment services are made through cards. And there are a lot of people who are not comfortable with the card. If even you show them how to put in the PIN number and
the ATM cards.
Cards, put in the PIN number, and then they're scared because so somebody has to be doing that for them.
Holding up the lines.
You know the problem with that could come with that. I mean, somebody could get somebody PIN number, they trick them, tell them they take out they didn't take out any money and they take out the people money and all. So we have to try to reach that segment of the population to so we could bring them up to speed. Because, I mean, a lot of people have cell phones now. And your cell phone could be your device, the device you use, a tablet. Not everybody have a computer. But the cell phone could be used just as well as the computer to do your transaction, right? So that is something we need to do.
And, according to Mr. Buck, we have identified those areas in our discussion, in our planning. So the NCTI has taken up the role now of, we'll be going out to communities to start working with various communities. We'll be using the resource centers to work with the different age group to get them a little bit more au fait with the various technologies and so forth. Currently, the NCTI has already planned a series of webinars that will be free, and we're pushing one this week self. And the one that we're working on this week is cybersecurity. And we're sending that out to all the organization, all the government institutions, and it's free of charge, that persons could come in and listen and hear what it entails about cybersecurity. So we know, even in schools still, we realize, and this will come to our robotics competition, we realize that we have to do a lot more in helping our population to work efficiently and effectively with electronic device. Now, persons will say, just like Mr. Boat mentioned, that all our population has phone and everything like that. But do you know there's a difference in the use of the phone for entertainment than the use of the phone for productivity? All right? Our devices at this point is almost capable as a laptop if you can be effective with it. And this is the type of uses that persons are not really familiar with when they come to their electronic devices, the phone and the tablet. If you ask someone, use your phone and write up a letter, they have no clue. They have no clue of what app they could download, what app they can use to get that done, and how to send it off. Right? We will know that some businessmen will write letter, sign it, and email it while in a meeting using their phone. Ask the average person who has a high-end phone, iPhone or Samsung, they are not able to do that. And that is where
because again, your phones to take pictures.
Yes, yes. They know how to take it to, use it to take pictures, use it Instagram, Facebook, all those things, And one of the things that we recently was discussing with a group of adults who have small businesses, and they are still pushing for, they need a storefront, they need a designer to design their flyers. I said, no, you don't need all of that. What kind of phone you have? The highest iPhone they have, huh? I said, well, right here, you have your designer, you have your storefront, you have everything right in this phone. And when we start to show them the amount of things that they can use on their phone, they were literally surprised. You can build your flyers on your phone. Then you can post your flyers on Instagram. You could advertise using some of the metrics on Facebook. If you understand Google well, you have a free website, you have a free YouTube channel, you have everything at your disposal. But what happened? Persons are not aware that these kind of resources are out there. There's where the NCTI comes into play. We are in the process of, pushing the publicity of what we are able to do for our young community, our young, entrepreneurial community. We also have, as Mr. Bob mentioned, an aging community, and we are trying to see how we can navigate and help all these different demographics to work with.
Okay. So, my feel is that's right. So do you work closely with, let's say, CED in particular, in terms of helping persons who have been registered with them, or even with Invest SVG, to conduct sessions so that they would know what is available for them out there? Because you spoke about online stores, you spoke about, even payment options, all those type of things. Do you work closely with CED?
All those organizations we have a collaborative partnership with.
Okay.
All right. Actually, CED is our sister company, sister organization.
Sure. Okay.
So we work very closely with all those organizations and collaborate with them. This year alone, from the beginning of this year, we had our first NCTI Technology Conference, where all our partners, them and collaborators came and see what we have planned for the year. So we are working very closely with most of these organizations.
All right, good stuff.
All right. Now, that brings us now to our one-of-a-kind event that we're gonna have tomorrow, which is our robotics competition for the secondary school. This is also part of our move to get person to be comfortable with devices and computers.
Okay, so break down robotics. What does that mean?
Okay, robotics is basically you're able to work with a unit. Let me put it in layman's terms. You ever see the Roomba bot, the bot that vacuums your floor?
The circle, right.
That in its sense is considered a robot, right?
Okay.
But for that robot to do what it needs to do, you have to have the proper hardware and as well the proper programming, right? I want to stress that the proper programming, somebody program it to know the dimensions of the house so that if it bumps into any area, it knows what to do, knows to reverse and go back in another area. Someone has to program it. the apps on your phone, it doesn't just mysteriously or magically appear in the app store. Someone has to program it right down to the looks and the feel of it, has to program it for it to do what they want it to do for you to use it, right? Now, most of the time, we in our community in St. Vincent, we are only open to the use part, right? Where we download the app, we use it, but we give no mind as to how it was created.
The background, uh-huh.
Right? So we realize that a lot of students are shying away from that aspect of information technology because they assume a high level of maths is in it and they're just scared of it and they're just running for it. It's too difficult. So our duty is to get students more comfortably involved or enter into that space and let them start, seeing it's code. It is easy. You could work with it. I must mention, if in the States, when I was studying and so forth, you see a lot of young kids getting into the developing app before they're 10 years old and 11 years old and having them working. And you wonder why this 10-year-old can do this. And the main reason is that, they have an uncle or auntie or daddy who is in the industry. And they will say, take that, work on that and so forth. We don't really have that kind of industry where, it's prevalent that someone is working in program. Matter of fact, it's going to be hard pressed for you to find a programmer here. And if you find him, he most of the time working for a company. Him or her,
Thank
of course.
you.
Him or her, because we have some very wonderful lady in it. Him or her, they are comfortably working in the back room of a company. They're not really in the upfront, like a doctor, a lawyer, the teller. They're not upfront like that. So we don't really have those individuals to really encourage. So we have, be that organization that going to say, we want to introduce a lot of our kids to programming. So the robotics is where the students have, because it's a virtual environment, where they have a robotic unit that will respond exactly like a real robot. But the emphasis here is getting students in the idea of programming, understand the program, understand how it works, understand the sequence in how it works, and not only that, find efficient ways in how it's working. The reason why we say that. Now, the unique thing about this competition is that there really and truly there's no rules, right? The students can come with any level of creativity to solve the issue that they are given. All right. So if by chance they get to glimpse at another person's code, they are available to do that. The technical part is, can you make what they're doing work for you? Because that's happening everywhere. People are using pieces of each other, intellectual work to complete theirs, as well as they're able to use AI. They can use AI on the day of the competition to get their work done, because we want students and individuals to start using these technologies to get their task complete. What is so unique about this competition is that the students have two aspects they have to work on. A challenge that they have to complete in school and bring on the day, and then it will be judged, as well as on the very day they will be given a new challenge that they have to program right there and solve right there on the spot. They will not receive any help from anyone except the internet and their teammates. So no one will be allowed to interact with the students when this competition.
So it's a whole day competition?
Yes, it's a whole day competition. We have a soft opening ceremony, and then we're going into the judging of the school assignment. And then after that, now we vacate the whole hallway with all our guests and so forth, and the student goes to work in terms of programming this application, this challenge that we'll give them on that day. We have been trained the students on the language, because it's a language I don't know, right now the concept of a programming language might not be clear to a few persons. A programming language is similar to French, Spanish, but just mean it's being done in a format that the computer can understand to do what it needs to do. So just like how you learn the syntax for French, you have to learn a particular syntax for different programming language. So the one that they're currently using in school is Pascal. It has been around for a while. So we choose a language that is similar to this one so that it can help them in school and encourage them to be part of, the IT in school, as well as moving forward, as well as learning other levels of programming language. So what we are hoping to do tomorrow is going to be very exciting. We taught the students how to use this language. The students, the teachers, and we have been visiting the various school over the past 2 weeks to make sure they are coming along nicely. And I have to say, I'm very impressed because the first time this is happening, and we notice a lot of the students are finding innovative ways to complete their tasks. Some of them, I must say, have even completely recode the whole application so that they could code for themselves easier. And that is something I was not expecting. The judges is from our IT community here in St. Vincent. Our programming community is professionals who working for Vinlec, working for NIS, working for Geku. All those professionals we seek out to come and be, the judges, because the students need to see them. We need to see who are the feet that
put
move.
faces to the profession.
Yes. So we are that organization that producing this one-of-a-kind competition for the students is coming tomorrow.
All right. So, Mr. Burke, could you tell us some of the schools who are participating?
How many schools?
We have 13 schools, 125 students have been part of it. The pack hallway. So we have,
groups of five.
Groups of five person per team.
Subgroup, but only 4 programming.
Could
and
be
there's a standby who could come in
whenever they want to come in and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's like a team effort.
Oh, y'all have subs too?
Yeah, we have to have substitutes because let's think about it. Huh? Here the importance of sub, because students are very concerned why there is a substitute. Have you ever? I know you have done it, Roleza. Don't lie to me. I know you can't lie to me, right? You're in school and your teacher tell you write a composition. And in your head is a movie that composition is being written the best. Then you come back, the composition is 2 out of 10. And you wondering why I get 2 out of 10. But when you read it aloud with fresh eyes, you realize, wait, I really write that script in this.
Oh, okay. So I get it. I get it.
So the substitute is, my friend is smiling. She gets some of that. The substitute is that individual who is very familiar with what the team is doing, but they on the outside watching to see where the mistakes are happening. Because sometimes when you're in the mix of it, you don't see it. So that substitute will signal to the team leader, I need to come in because I realize you guys are struggling here. I see it, but you guys didn't see it. And he will come in and make the correction. But while he's in, someone have to step out. Or from the computer, because it's only 4 at a time at the computer. All right. And then the substitute is that fresh eyes for all the work that the students are doing so that they could navigate around.
It's really a team effort because programming, in most cases, a lot of programming you see, there's projects you see isn't done by one person. Sometimes you have a team project. A lot of programming is done by teams.
Yes.
So that's the concept we want to bring.
Yes, students don't understand that. A lot of students think you have to be the programmer to build the program. No, you could be the one with the idea. You formulate the idea and you bring your team together. You bring a programmer, you bring a mathematician. You even have to bring along someone who's very versed in English language to write the document. So it's not just an individual, because if you listen to all the big projects that have launch and make persons million, is a team effort. But one of the things that we really want to focus on in all of this, not only the idea of getting students into the idea of programming, but the idea of problem solving. All right. we realize that a lot of our students, they are good at regurgitating content, but they are not so much about, problem solving, and not just problem solving in, the area of programming, but problem solving in a life situation. Now, there are things in our community, which is what is happening now with the digital transformation. There are things that can be created, and there are also things that can be made efficient, more efficient than what it is. And we want students to be able to see that. So in the competition, there are points for students completing the task. But that doesn't mean that particular student will win. So let's say they complete the task using 12 steps. There might be a team who might beat you because they complete the same task in 6 steps. So they cut out a lot of redundancies and a lot of unnecessary movements through the codes and everything like that. And so we want to encourage them. They have to look for more efficient ways of doing things. And that is where we're getting at.
Okay.
That's where we're getting at as a country, as a people. You hear people complain they're standing in VINLEC line for long. They're standing in CWSA line for long. These are things that can be made more efficient, right? Mm-hmm. So we want to get students and our youth involved with that, because the digital transformation seems to be gearing a lot towards the adults and the more mature side of our community. The NCTI realize that we need to get down there to the students, because eventually the kids don't stay kids forever. Mm-hmm. They do become adults eventually, and we want them to grow with that comfort level come right up.
Okay. All right. So we roughly have like 4 minutes left. So
wait, where is the competition taking place?
The competition is being held at the Methodist Church Hall. We start at 9, and we'll have our opening ceremony. We're hoping that after the opening ceremony, the public is able to come and see. Come and see what the kids are doing. If you have your alma mater there, we have we have almost the whole secondary school system there. So we publish it on our Facebook page. So if you on the NCTI Facebook page, so if you want to see the schools, you can go and look at it there and see if you could come and support them. They're gonna be very nervous. They're gonna have a lot of butterflies in their stomach. Mm-hmm. But we encourage the teachers to make sure that they talk to them and make them comfortable and everything like that. Mind you, when if you decide to grace us with your presence tomorrow, you have to be a little bit quiet, because it's not a loud competition. It's a competition where students are thinking, they are typing and so forth and things like that. So you can come in and shout and say, hey, and wave your hand on those kind of things. No.
Big up GHS.
Oh yeah, they're definitely in there. We met with GHS yesterday, and some of the schools there, a lot of the schools are such a perfectionist. They want to get everything done right. So tomorrow gonna be a fun day.
Okay. All right. Anything, Dianna? No. All right. So
I just wanna put one plug in. I've been noticing in recent times, right? A lot of persons who are doing university courses, especially those that are online. Mm-hmm. A lot of persons would approach me in terms of doing assignments, and a lot of the assignments require some knowledge of databases, Excel, PowerPoint, and those type of disciplines, right? Mm-hmm. And some people don't tell you they don't have a clue about the assignment. This is a word of caution. I think those persons who thinking about going off to university, mm-hmm. especially some of the courses that you need a little bit this type of skill. I think the NCTI is a place to start to think about coming to kind of sharp up your skills in those areas.
As in not knowing how to use like Publisher and so forth.
Okay. Access, Excel, and a lot of the assignments, especially if you're doing a management course.
You have to do presentations, PowerPoint.
You have to be able to do the databases, and you have to do Excel type activities. So this is just a word of caution. Those persons who plan on going to university.
These are
So
some of
you
the fundamental-
offer these
we offer these
Actually, I was
fundamental
gonna
training.
ask that question. If you do training, when you do training, where, how, all of those things.
We customize training for individual. If you bring in a group or organization, want to bring a group into those kind of things, we provide those kind of foundation training for you guys.
Do the
Foundation
assignment for
admins.
the person doesn't even have a clue.
Yeah.
The assignment.
We have been seeing a lot of that.
And we've seen a lot of that in recent times. So I think it's important that even you get the introduction, when you get the assignment, or even go even to the intermediate, when you get the assignment, you'll have an idea
Of what they're asking about.
Some people just definitely don't have a clue.
So it sounds like you also need to partner with, let's say, Open Campus as well. Do like an orientation session with new entrants.
Well, the orientation is important, yes, because you actually guide them as to
What they need to
the
know.
Yeah.
they need to know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a wonderful suggestion.
That's what I'm here for.
The thing I'm seeing, and it's happening too often. Right?
I suppose it thought never really crossed my mind because I figured, like, for me back in the day, I fiddled. I learned, but I can understand some persons feeling a little bit overwhelmed, especially if you are now going into it. Let's say at an older age, persons are a little bit afraid of, fiddling with anything on a computer. So
yeah, we need to get past that.
I am one of those. Because I'm being very honest with you. I am afraid of fiddling with devices because I am scared that I might do something that I cannot undo. I am one of
just
those.
once you don't hit delete, do not hit delete. That's it.
what I would say, I normally tell this to everyone. If our life or like the computer, things would have been so much better because almost everything you do on the computer, you could undo and start back over, right?
System restore, all kind of thing.
You could just you type in a document, your whole document disappear, it ain't really gone, it's still there, you could still recover.
Well, I should have known a while back.
Yeah, so we open to a lot of training and a lot of certificates, and these certificates are certified by different organizations, the Microsoft, the company. We even have support for persons who doing ACCA exams. We know that it's a tough exam to pass. So we are the testing center for those certificates, and we also provide training assistance for them to pass these exams.
Okay.
So
I think because I am actually learning a lot more this morning from both of you. So I'm wondering how best can you get this information out to regular folks? And I put myself in the category of regular folks with this.
Well, one, we have our contact number that we can share, as well as we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, all the information is there. You could even walk up and have a discussion with us. We are located upstairs planning up by the opposite Sharp Street, across where
BMC agency is. All right.
Yes.
We don't do a street names.
Yeah, directly opposite there is an organization called Paladin. Directly opposite their planning is there where you carry your house plan. We are upstairs there.
Okay.
So that we do that. Before we go, I just want to say a big thank you to the schools, the teachers, and the business sponsors that have been supporting us moving forward. Currently, we have 13 schools, and all the schools are supported by an individual business that sponsor them to come into the competition and what we're doing. So we want to say thank you to.
You have the names, you could call them a quick.
Well, I call them. We have our main sponsors is KCCU. Then we have Geku with us. We have Musty Company. We have ECGC, IT Solutions, Bytelands, and we also have Red Technologies, Ronald and Williams Associates. I think I got most of them, and we also sponsoring the team. The NCTI is also sponsoring the team as well.
Oh, okay.
I hope I didn't left out them. I'm just calling them off my head right now.
Just say thank you to all who have.
Thank you to all.
All right.
Billing and loans. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you may have left out for names, but we thank all the sponsors.
Yes.
Tomorrow should be an exciting day, and I wish to see everybody out to support these schools.
Right. You can pass by
and
say hi, see what the kids are doing. Ask questions what they're doing. You see movements on the computer screen, ask the student, I must mention though that the window for visitation, we have a window for coming and seeing. Huh? The window for visitation is between 10 and 11:30. Right?
After that, the
11:30.
students need
So like hospital. So
Yeah. After
hospital
that,
visitation.
after that, the students
need their space.
they need their space. Their brain juice gonna be flowing. Their frustration has to be tempered and everything like that. So we don't want no one interrupting them while they, putting in the work.
All right. So we thank you both for being here with us this morning. It was indeed very informative.
Appreciate it.
I also look forward to the plans that you have going forward so that you'll be able to reach everybody in a sense, right?
Yes.
Different
yes,
demographics,
yes,
etc.
yes,
just to
yes.
be able to reach everybody as, we try to push forward as in this digital age as a country. So thank you very much. I also want to wish you both and the students all the best in tomorrow's competition. And we look forward to the update.
That would definitely happen.
You'll be back.
Yes.
We'll be back.
We love to hear that.
All right.
All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Burke and Mr. Gums, for being here with us this morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.